Ladies and gentlemen, how smart am I? I mean, it's going to be checked after my speech, so just let me know how smart and how intelligent I try my best and stimulate the discussion. Yes, as Dan explained to you, the IEA is the organization for the energy security, especially carrying the strategic stockpile of oil, petroleum, for 90 days, and use it in case of emergency. So the first thing, if crisis happens, what I'm going to do is calling Minister Al-Naimi or Minister Al-Attiyah, how much are you going to produce more? And then decide how much strategic stockpile we are going to release together. And this is the key for the energy security in the short term. But it's working very well, so currently market is very well supplied, so fortunately this kind of situation is not happening. But certainly our role is getting more into the field of electricity because oil is important. Yes, it will continue to be important. Gas is getting more important. And then how we supply the electricity as a security of the supply of energy is a challenge for our organization. And then the issue is not storage of electricity, it's how you cleverly and clearly supplying together with different source of electricity, nuclear, as well as renewable energy sources, or fossil fuel like gas, how to make this comprehensive energy security. That's a new challenge for our organization. But this helps, as Dan said, to respond to the climate change by moving away from fossil fuel. Certainly it helps climate change. So we are always saying, yes, these two things must be addressed together. I'll show you our world energy technology perspective, which we have released in July this year. Very quickly overview why we are talking about this energy technology revolution. The first slide, please. This shows if business as usual prevail, the demand of primary energy source will increase by 84% from now to 2050. Most of the increase comes from the emerging economies in ASEAN or China, India, and heavily dependent on coal. This certainly has a huge implication for sustainability. The temperature will increase by 6 degrees Celsius to the end of the century, and it's a catastrophic scenario. So how can we avoid this is the so-called blue map scenario. The energy demand will increase by 32%, but the CO2 emission will be halved by 2050. And atmospheric temperature increase will be contained about 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. This is what the negotiators in Copenhagen and in Cancun will talk about. And what is the necessary technology to achieve this blue map? The first thing is energy efficiency. Everybody knows 38% of the reduction comes from efficiency. We recommended 25 detailed policies, including phasing out incandescent lighting bulbs, as Mr. Chin explained to you, or other building sector or transportation sector. This is the low-hanging fruit and most effective way. But on top of that, yes, decarbonizing power sector by either renewable energy, nuclear, or CCS, but it's still not enough. We have to decarbonizing transportation sector. Otherwise, this halving scenario is impossible. This is decoupling scenario of economic growth of about 3% and CO2 emission. Next slide, please. Where this CO2 emission reduction should happen? Yes, 2/3 must happen in the developing economy. Maybe China, 27%. China is always the major factor in discussing about energy anywhere, in any market. Gas, oil, electricity, renewables, electric vehicle, everywhere. China is a major factor, but this is opportunity at the same time. New technology, new industry will certainly grow in this country. And money should flow from north to the south. Opportunity happens in emerging economy, that's for sure. Next slide, please. What does this mean for the way we produce energy? Yes, this scenario, blue map scenario requires, this is the blue line, compared to the current level, yes, fossil fuel unfortunately should decline to make this 50% reduction happen, while nuclear, hydro, renewables, all must grow very rapidly. The fossil fuel dependency is still 46% in this revolutionary scenario. We have to invest in a fossil fuel, oil, gas, coal. It is necessary. Otherwise, we have serious shortage of energy supply. And also, gas plays a very important role. As Minister Atia eloquently convinced you that gas will play a very important role as a bridge resources. And currently, there is because of the economic recession, the glut exists, and the price is very cheap. But depending on the China's demand or Indian demand, this glut will disappear very quickly. So in IEA, we are thinking about if the gas demand is much, much higher than we expect, and if supply comes, what does this mean in terms of trade of LNG, price of LNG, CO2 emission of the LNG? This is a very interesting natural gas high scenario, which we may develop very soon. Price of oil certainly has impact, because in a blue map scenario, the demand of oil will decline by about 27% from now to 2050. Yes, the price will go up in the business as usual. The blue map will go down. Of course, the demand is low. But on top of that, carbon price must be on. And our model tells in a revolutionary scenario, the carbon price must be $175 per ton. And it means about $70 per barrel of oil. So consumer price of oil is still high. Energy price in general in 2050 will be much, much higher. So cheap energy age is over. That is one message which we have to build our energy policy or business model in the private sector. And this is a reality we have to live with. Next slide, please. This is what would happen in the power sector. Yes, business as usual, 2/3 are fossil fuel, mainly by coal. But in a revolutionary scenario of a blue map, about half is renewable, quarter is nuclear, and other quarter is carbon capturing and storage. But to build quarter of nuclear means 30 gigawatt every year. We have to add 30 nuclear power reactors every year from now to 2050. The huge investment is necessary. Other options, high nuclear, if the nuclear power is 38%, means 50 gigawatts. We have to build 50 nuclear reactors every year. Can we do that? Of course, other option is high renewable scenario. 75% comes from renewable, but renewable is very expensive, as everybody knows. Smart grid needs additional cost, and certainly integration of different countries or interconnectivity is a necessary feature to make renewable available on this level. So it's getting more costly. When we compare the power generation cost, this high renewable scenario is 10% more than blue map. High nuclear is 10% less. So 20% difference by using more nuclear or less nuclear. But of course, nuclear has a huge other public acceptance issue, waste disposal issue, and so forth. Other part of the scenario is, next slide please, is what is the demand side? Electric vehicle is another game changer. Now, IEA gathered all the information of the different countries are now planning, or different companies are planning for 2020. We add up that new sale of electric vehicle or plug-in hybrid in 2020 is about 8 million vehicles a year. And this is online to our blue map. And in the blue map, in 2050, 100 million new car sales must happen for this segment. We will see, but this is an important game changer for the future in the energy sector, as well as sustainability. Finally, then my slide is concluding this. I told our world, this energy technology perspective asked for energy technology revolution 2 years ago. We are observing some changes. Yes, for example, in the photovoltaic, we see about 6 gigawatt of photovoltaic addition added in 2009. We saw about, as I said, 8 million vehicles coming in 2020. CCS project, about 80 of them. Yes, lots of phase out of incandescent lighting bulbs happening, but that's not enough. We need much more investment for the future to make this real change happen. We need 46 gigawatts of photovoltaic. We need over 100 million plug-in vehicles or electric vehicles. 3,000 CCS project is really necessary. What LED must be everywhere. And investment for all of these is additional 46 trillion US dollars from now to 2050. But it is investment, but it is an opportunity for the business. The new sales of different cars, or new investment in renewable energy, nuclear, what also to the fossil fuels, we need investment. So this is a huge potential investment, and we have to act now. The delay of 1 year of action is about additional $500 billion. So what I said in the Clean Energy Ministers meeting in July in the United States, don't wait until the climate deal is going to be done. Just act now. And what we know what to do. All countries know what to do. So do these measures and actions, and let's monitor to the future. This we call the bottom-up approach. Top-down is necessary, but as a complementary, this kind of bottom-up approach is probably what we need now. Thank you very much.